Thanks for tuning in to the Mariners Virtual Baseball Bash. Now, enjoy this virtual Clubhouse chat.
Love hearing that Mariners theme song. Makes you feel like Mariner baseball is upon us. I wish it was like tomorrow, but it's not. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Sims, Mariner broadcaster. Welcome to Mariners Virtual Baseball Bash. Great to have you with us. We've got Evan White, Gold Glove first baseman with us, and Rookie of the Year in the American League, Kyle Lewis. And we'll invite your questions to join in the conversation. And we look forward to spending the next few minutes with these gentlemen. And we've got some prize giveaways. We'll take care of that as we move along as well. Gentlemen, good to see you guys. Kyle, Evan, this is great to see you guys. Thanks for joining us. How are you? How you doing, Kyle? I'll start with you.
Doing great. Living the dream, just working every day. So taking it one day at a time, man.
All you can do, yeah. And Evan, you're in Arizona. How goes it out there?
So far, so good. A little rough weather today and everything, but it's been nice to get outside and kind of get a head start being out on the field and stuff like that. So it's been a great off season and excited to get everybody back together.
Yeah, no question. Now, you're two young guys, so you going stir crazy with all the any restrictions you might be under, given the situation that's going on in the country. I was wondering how you guys are handling that in terms of getting your workouts in and that type of stuff. Ev, what do you think?
Yeah, we've definitely been fortunate here in Arizona, especially having the facility and everything and having access there. And, we got small groups and, we're trying to, maintain our distance and whatnot and still do the safe things. But it's been nice, being outside and being able to have nice weather. And, if you can't get a workout in, be able to get a hike in or something like that. And it's just we've been very fortunate here in Arizona, at least.
What about over in Georgia? What's going on, Kyle?
Yeah, I work out at the my high school field. So I'm able to go down there. Pretty much, whenever they're not having team practice or whatever they're doing. So it's been a good setup, being able to go outside down here. It was kind of cold for a while, but it's pretty decent now, pretty sunny. So I've been able to get out and do whatever it is I want to do. It's pretty cool.
I understand from talking to you guys, during the course of the year and the year before and stuff I've read, you guys became best friends when you met up down in the minor leagues. Tell us how that great relationship started up.
You want to start or you want me to start?
Go ahead.
At first, I wasn't a big Kyle Lewis fan. I tried to talk to him a little bit. I felt like he got a little showy on me. I was trying to follow him on Instagram. It took a couple times for him to follow me back. Don't take a lot of pride saying that. I'm just messing around and stuff. But we started, playing together up in High A in Modesto, California, and roomed together on the road and ended up rooming together before we got called up to Double A and just really got to know each other and build that relationship off the field. And it's helped a lot on the field. So very fortunate. And Kyle ended up being at my wedding a little over a year ago. So we're definitely one of my best friends and blessed to call him a teammate and a brother.
That is very cool. What about your side of the story, Kyle?
Yeah, they always bring up this Instagram follow thing that I don't know if that's how it went, but maybe so. They say it is, and I guess I'm guilty. But, once we started playing together and talking, just in passing at first, it was kind of like just a great human and, somebody that it was easy to gravitate towards, being able to talk about both real things and playful things is something I really appreciate. So I've always appreciated that. And, that helped the relationship to build over time and just be able to share things about, our spirituality, or just morality, working hard, getting better, anything. So, it's kind of a real safe place whenever we were able to talk. And that's kind of how it ended up.
Like you showed me something there because it's more than just baseball. I mean, you're connecting on the human level, man. That's really good. And a lot of times, when you're a fan of a team or something, you don't get to know guys. We don't get to know, or the fans certainly don't get to always know that those relationships and how they work. And I mean, you guys will be lifelong friends. And I look at it, I'm a few generations older than you guys, and I think that you guys, the world has come a long way because, 70, 80 years ago, this wasn't going to happen, or would have been less likely to happen, put it that way.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a blessing. I think, especially with the kind of year that we had last year, from a world's perspective, socially, I think being able to be in a position where we were able to sit down in the hotel room and have, a great discussion coming from two different perspectives. And, when we were in San Diego was really a special moment and something I'm appreciative of, being able to embrace people of different cultures and somebody that, has grown up in a completely different, part of the country from you. And, to be so similar, it's just kind of, really a blessing.
Yeah, that's the thing they preach about on Sundays and Saturdays and other places that, in terms of, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. And you guys are a living embodiment of it. That's great to hear. Evan, I was just wondering if you wanted to just respond to that, or react to what Kyle just said.
Yeah, I think it was awesome, especially building that relationship and being able to have kind of the tougher conversations, especially with everything going on in the world right now. And, being able to get to know one another and as a person, as a human being, and not just at the surface level, and be able to have those tough conversations and see what he's seen, see what he's gone through, and friends of his have gone through. So, because, me being a white male, I don't necessarily know everything that an African-American man or woman has gone through and what they've seen. So I think the biggest thing for us is we continue to grow as a nation and just as people in general, is to try to ask those tough questions to get better understanding and just show love to one another. And that's the biggest thing. And like Kyle was saying, is use our platform to not only talk about it, but to show that, you can get to know someone for who they are and love on them regardless of what they might look like.
Yeah, I was impressed. I was talking to Justice and Mark Gavich this last week and talking to Marco and guys, the fabric of your team is really strong. I mean, that's impressive. And, that's, when you're all going in the same direction at the same time, as people, then the baseball, that stuff takes care of itself. But the fact that you guys, you're like this, I think that's a fabulous dynamic to have. I want to get to baseball. I'm going to get to baseball. Last thing on this. What were some of the tough conversations you mentioned? When we're talking tough, how tough are we talking about? What kind of, how'd that go down?
I mean, it's just been a multitude of things, and I'll pass it off to Evan. I don't want to steal this because he mentioned it as well, but I think it's worth noting, even as far as a conversation, maybe going back to low-level minor leagues about, attitude, presentation, body language, ways that you show up, holding each other accountable for that. I remember one time vividly, we might have been in Double-A or High A and didn't run a ball out, running down the line. And Evan was the first one. He's like, man, I'm just going to let you know that's not going to be acceptable. And instantly you respect that, and that grows, when you got somebody that'll do that to you.
Impressive. You guys, you're a lot more older than your years on your birth certificate. That's super impressive. And let's talk a little bit baseball now. Kyle, Rookie of the Year, and I'm looking at some names, cats who have won that award over the years. Evan Longoria, Mike Trout, Dustin Pedroia, Justin Verlander, Carlos Beltran. I mean, Nomar Garciaparra. You're an elite company, man. Have you had a chance? Has that sunk in yet, or is that something you haven't really focused on at this point?
I definitely just hope to, be another name in that lineage, and I definitely feel like, I have the ability to be able to do that. So now it's just, I'm just trying to take it day by day and, see where it end up at the end, because, you could be in that lineage for one thing, but then you could also not be, for another thing. So it never is the totality of it. And I try to take everything in totality. So, I got a whole career to try to build for myself. And then I think those conversations could have, a lot more merit. But right now it's just, one moment that could go one of two ways. And so I'm just trying to take everything day by day.
Evan, I'm going to throw some names at you. You may not have seen them. You may not have read about them, but we're talking top tier first baseman, Gold Glovers. John Olerud, Keith Hernandez, Wes Parker, JT Snow. I mean, these cats can field it, and you're right there with them, man. And that's a high compliment. And the fact that, coming up from Double-A to win the Gold Glove in your first full year, albeit only 60 games, but you still won it, and you still performed, and you won the award. Congratulations, man.
I appreciate that, and kind of just want to go off of what exactly Kyle was saying is it's a never-ending process. It's like, yeah, it was an incredible thing for us to, kind of win those awards, and an incredible blessing, and we definitely enjoyed that. But it's time to get back to work, and just because we won it, the previous year doesn't mean it's going to do anything for us this coming year. So kind of having that mentality of, you got to continue to go, continue to work. Is the way that something that attracted me to Kyle originally. When we first played in the minor leagues, is that it's you might have a great day, you might have a terrible day, but the thing is you got tomorrow in baseball and stuff. So that's kind of the way we've kind of always gone about our business, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
What about now? Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and the Bills wish they had another day to work, but that's a whole other story. What are you guys focusing on, Kyle? What are you focusing on, like improving coming off of last year? A lot of good things, but you always want to look to get better. What's your to-do list, your punch list of, hey man, I got to tighten this up.
Controlling the game, consistency, I think, is my main area. I think it's, you don't want to be up and down performance-wise. So day in and day out, just controlling the game, controlling my mindset. That's the ultimate for me right now is just, when I have those flashes, of greatness, just controlling that consistency, being able to show up the same way every single day. So that's kind of what I focus on, and finding different ways to do that when I step into the box at the plate. What am I thinking about, mental coaching, things like that.
Now, what's your agenda, Evan?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing is the mindset, the mental side of the game. And that's something I never really had to work on in the past. You come up to the big leagues and offensively really got punched in the mouth and tried to do too much with scouting reports and think too much and really try to simplify things. And, been fortunate to work on the mental side of the game and kind of learn a lot from that perspective. And I'm just really excited to kind of show what I've learned and be able to have that clarity in the box and just kind of let my ability take over.
As a great Oklahoma football coach, Barry Switzer used to say, we're going to out-athlete them. Well, at some point where you guys are in the major leagues, it's not, it's hard to out-athlete everybody because everybody's a stud and everybody's a stud in high school. So the mental part of it, that's a separator right there. You know what I wanted to ask you guys about? Henry Aaron just passed, sadly, and that's a loss for the country. It's a loss for baseball. And one of the stats, there were so many stats, but he's got overwhelming stats. But he never struck out 100 times in a season, and a limited amount of times in the course of his 25-year career that he strike out twice in a game. Strikeouts. Your generation seems to have a different approach to strikeouts. Just how does striking out? You guys had your success, but you also had a high number of strikeouts. I'm curious what your approach is and what this generation's approach to strikeouts are, because back in Henry Aaron, and watching some of the old quotes, said, "Hey man, I wanted to put it in play all the time," and just I'm just curious to pick your brains on that. That's such a generational divide.
Yeah. For me personally, I hate it, and I know I struck out probably more than anybody did in the big leagues this past year. It definitely is not something I want to do, and definitely something I obviously need to cut back on. And but it was just something I think kind of again going back to the mental side is I would find myself thinking too much what the pitcher's going to try to do, and then I put myself in a bad situation where I'm starting late, so now my swing's not able to catch up, and he's able to give me with a high fastball, or I'm thinking slider and he throws a fastball middle of the plate and I take it. So I think it's not something I want to do. It's definitely something I need to improve upon, and but at the same time it's like guys are trying to get you to expand the zone, and guys are good, they make good pitches, and kind of be able to accept that. Definitely as with my season last year and going forward, I definitely want to strike out less, and like the great Hank Aaron said, is put the ball in play as much as possible.
What about you?
I definitely agree with that. I think, it's two parts. You can't speak for an entire generation. When you speak about strikeouts being up, I think there's a few factors in that might be getting discounted. The pitchers are also, incredibly tough. So, it's not easy, and
no question. I'm not by no stretch of my imagination when I said, it's easy, because if it was, there'd be more. There's been fewer than 20,000 guys who've ever played Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It was easy to be several 100,000. So, no, I totally get where you're coming from. Nothing disparaging, no disrespect meant.
It's definitely tough but I definitely don't try to, strike out ever. I definitely would like my strikeouts to be zero, for the season. It's definitely something you never really accept. You want to try to help the team, by putting the ball in play as much as possible, being able to run the bases, in whatever way you can impact the game. And I think the key to trying to continue to cut them down, is going to be refining, your mindset, refining your understanding of what they're trying to do, so that you don't have to chase the pitcher around the box so much. You don't have to guess. You don't have to jump at the ball or whatnot. And also shortening up your swing, mechanically, shortening up your swing as well. But, there's a lot of different factors that go into that. And I wouldn't say that, as a generation, I don't think a lot of guys are, just good with striking out. I think it's just, a combination of things kind of lending to that.
All right. Let's tee up some questions. I know some fans have written in some questions and they want to hear some things from you. And let's see. This is a good one right here. Justin wants to know, does any particular player leave you starstruck? Like, Evan, you came up from Double-A, and, Kyle, you had a taste the year before, and now all of a sudden you're on the same field with, and you're going, damn, that's really who are those guys?
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of I've actually talked about this before, and you try to have the mindset, this is just another human. They bleed like you, they breathe like you. At the same time, growing up and watching baseball, watching first baseman, Albert Pujols is one of those guys that not only from the baseball side of things, and obviously being a great right-handed hitter, great fielder, but he's a great man of faith and great example for everybody. So I every time I see him, it's a pretty cool thing, and just have a lot of respect for him, and obviously have a lot of respect for a lot of the guys that have played the game.
You ever go over and introduce yourself to him?
Yeah, we've actually had some really good conversations. Again, not just about baseball, but about our faith and everything. And I think that's it's special for us. At least for me, it might not be too special for him, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think most games there's still moments, where you get a little awestruck at somebody. You're like, man, I'm really here. Like, I'm still in that phase. So I'm still like, every day I'm excited, because you see different veterans, different, people that have had legendary moments in the game, throughout the years, being on the same field and whatnot is always something I still appreciate. So it could be, just a player that I remember hitting a walk-off home run when I was, middle school, high school, and now they're playing in the same game. So
like who would that? Anybody in particular?
Yeah, Joey Votto was probably my first big league spring training game. I got a bloop hit, and Joey Votto was on first, and so that one kind of shook me up a little bit. And you get a lot of them. Albert Pujols shook me up a little bit. So there's been a few of them, man, that are just is really cool.
It's funny. I was thinking this. I get a kick out of this over the years. Evan, you're at first base, so you get a chance to say, "Yo, what up?" With just about everybody comes by there. Who have you had conversations with, or just just interesting by play? I mean, it's only you only got part of the season, but I'm sure you've had some interesting. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I honestly just the way I've always played is kind of say what's up to guys when they get on first base, and obviously you're competing against them and everything, but at the same time it's a game, you're having fun with it. I really talked to every single person that got on first base this year, at least try to say hi to them and stuff like that, had some good conversation. And again, I keep bringing it up, but, talk faith with Anthony Rendon and stuff like that, like Albert Pujols, and had good conversations with Bregman and Correa. Pretty much everyone that we played, had some good conversations with. So it's a fun part of the game and something I, look forward to continuing to do.
How about umpires? Because I know I always look at Siegs at third, Kyle Seager at third. And he's like, I think he's one of the greatest social butterflies in the league because he's always having running conversations with whoever's at third, the umpire at third, and the third base coach. I get a kick. I always ask him about it, bust his chops on that. But look, he always has fun down there. How about umpires?
Definitely. Whoever's coaching first base that day, you kind of say what's up to him at the beginning of the game, and you kind of get a feel for him. Some guys want to talk a lot, some guys don't.
Who's the big talker?
What's that?
Who's the big talker?
Ted and I could talk for days. It's fun for us. So.
Ted, the big umpire. I know you.
Yeah, the guy who sparred with Holyfield. So
yes,
he's the most interesting. He did that. He's a preacher. He's an MLB umpire. I mean, he's the most interesting man in the world.
Ted Barrett.
Yeah. Yep. So it's
good dude. Good dude. He's a hat guy like me. Yeah, he's good dude.
Exactly.
Who have you chatted up, Kyle? Anybody?
Umpire wise?
Yeah, umpire, first base, third base. Just players in general, pregame.
A lot, man. Matt Kemp had a good exchange with Matt Kemp. Mike Trout, guy had a good exchange with. Just trying to catch guys on the slide. Last year with the coronavirus, we weren't socializing as much before the game, and that's kind of where I would probably, have more of my socialization because, during the game, I'm back and forth.
Too.
Yeah, I talked to Mookie Betts. I talked to him a decent amount. So,
what kind of did he give anything to help you out?
Man, he's all world. So he tell you he make the game sound easy.
He's a great player.
Nah, he's cool, man. We just just talking about life, trying to get away from the game. Sometimes you just talk about regular stuff too.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit of high low. Give me a high point, low point from last year for both of you guys. Kyle, start with you.
High point, I think just opening day being able to hit a home run, coming out first at bat. So that was really cool.
Verlander.
Just to get the season started the right way, kind of, feel like I'm into the season. You always come into the year wondering if you're going to get any hits, that year. So,
believe it.
You always going to get that first one. So get that first one. That's cool. And then
people don't realize that, you cats are human just like all of us. You have those little doubts that creep in your mind. You got this, as Jay Buhner always says, you got this angel on this shoulder, another one on this one. This one's telling you all the good stuff. This one give you all the bad stuff. I mean, it's the truth. Yeah. Oh, man. How about low point?
Low point, I think not making the playoffs. I think we kind of tried to make a good run at it. And so I think it was just kind of a little bit, different when you kind of close and you kind of start seeing yourself, in the standings.
It was exciting that last, week, 10 days?
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks? And you guys, a couple teams came back. You guys were going up. And, I mean, you guys, I could see it when you're on the road and watching on TV, and then when you're at home, extra pep in your step. That was impressive. Evan, your high lows.
Yeah, I kind of went off Kyle's what he was saying from the low side, and I think it was a low yet a high because we were able to get that experience where games meant something in September. Yeah. For a lot of us, being up there in the league for the first time I think, a really good experience for us, and we know what that feels like now, and kind of know what it takes to win ball games, especially in kind of that crunch time. So it's definitely a low, but I think it's going to be a high for us in the future. And then for me personally, just the high would probably be the 2-homer game in Dodger Stadium, and it was really kind of cool for us to get in there for the first time and playing such a historical park, and to be able to do that was pretty special for myself.
Yeah, you still haven't been to Yankee Stadium in Fenway, have you?
No, sir.
Oh, hopefully it happens this year, baby. Hey, you hit the ball as hard as any. I mean, you had some of the hardest hit balls. I think you were in the top 5 in that hard hit category. Give me the background. I mean, obviously you come in with a lot of talent, but did you do was there anything added to your game, jump? Because that's a big jump. Double-A, hey kid, you're going to the major leagues, and you're starting, and so you hit the ball hard. I mean, you got to be pretty proud of the fact that was one of the great things you accomplished last season.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something to build off of, and just trying to make more contact. And I think it's something, we've done a good job of kind of attacking the mental side, and allowing my swings to come off more during this upcoming season. And definitely excited to continue to grow in that aspect. Just hitting the ball hard is something I've been fortunate enough to kind of be God-given with. Done it kind of my entire life, and now it's just doing it more consistently and continuing to grow and be the best version of myself as I can be.
See if we got any more questions here we can ask the fellas. See what's up. Let's see. How important is team culture to you, and how do you all help build and foster it?
Man, the culture is probably one of the biggest, factors to winning, I think, is the culture, is the way you keep everybody's morale up throughout the game. When you get down, how you fight through adversity. Do the guys give up on each other? Do the guys, talk about each other behind each other's backs and whatnot? So I think culture is huge. Culture is probably, one of the biggest factors to winning.
It definitely is. I think you kind of foster it and build it through, just building relationships off the field, and, having conversations with guys, and, getting to know them at a personal level. That way it kind of can build off, once you're on the field together. But it's definitely huge. And like Kyle was saying, it's such a failure-ridden game that you're going to fail a lot. So it's how you bounce back, and how do you pick up the guy behind you and everything. And it's really fun when everyone's moving in the right direction.
Yeah. Keep the questions coming. Let's see what else we have here for Kyle and for Evan. What was the feeling like hitting your first big league home run? Let's start with you, Ev.
And it was funny. I remember talking to Caleb last year when he hit his first, and he's like, "You just feel like you're floating around the bases. It's like you feel like you get home faster than any other time you've ever hit a home run in your life." So it's definitely a great feeling, and it was just really exciting.
Who was your first was down in Houston as well, right?
Yeah, it was off Josh James. So I think it's
hard throwing right-hander.
Yeah, got a change up. So
change up. What was it? Was it a count? Were you heading the count?
I don't remember. And
Okay.
that's how it went. It kind of just black out. Next thing you know, you're touching home. So it was pretty cool.
And Kyle, you took Verlander out. He's only one. He's only going to go to the Hall of Fame. And that thing, you got all of it too, didn't you?
Yeah, that was my first major league home run was 2019 off of Trevor Bauer.
That's right. You did a great one. Who was it off of? I'm sorry.
Trevor Bauer.
Just the Cy Young award winners. That's all.
Yeah.
So that was cool, man. That was really cool. It was the same though. I felt like I was sprinting. Around the base.
You did.
Yeah,
he had a bunch. What you have? 6 home runs first 10 games.
Yeah.
That hot streak. What a rush that was. In your wildest dreams, did you see anything like that happen?
Yeah, I was hitting the ball well, right up until that point. So I was just trying to, try not to make it too big and continue to do what I had been trying to do, at the plate. And so when it was just kind of working, everything was kind of working. The adrenaline was so high too. So your focus is, you focused, you locked in, and you're so nervous that you just can't help but get locked in. So it's kind of like one of them zones you get in.
Hey, man, get that zone, find it, baby. Keep riding it. Hey, I want to go back. We were talking about defense earlier. I meant to ask this earlier. Your defensive prowess, you feel like a shortstop at first base. Where did that start? Is that something I know? I've heard you talk about your dad. You and your dad did some interesting drills back in the day.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely just started growing up. Always enjoy getting out and whether it was on the ball field or in the front yard, and have my dad hit me ground balls, and he hit tennis balls at us, kind of work on reaction. And he made it fun though. It wasn't just about, beating it into us like you gotta get to work. And he made it fun, and he allowed us, me and my brother, to kind of ask for it. Hey, can we go take ground balls? Can you go throw us BP and stuff like that? Which it was awesome. He didn't burn me out at a young age or anything like that. It's just something I always enjoyed and liked doing.
That's a good point. Didn't burn you out. How many times and I'm sure you've seen it, and I know I've seen it. That's interesting. And one defensive play, that sick play you made over your shoulder, running backwards, it looked like you were running a banana route for a wide receiver, and he caught it over his shoulder. That was one of the sickest catches I've ever seen a first baseman make. Can you just walk me through that one?
I appreciate it. Yeah, it was. I have no idea. It was one of those things. Again, your brain just kind of goes numb. You just go see ball, get ball, and I thought it was pretty cool. For me, it was with doing off Arenado. He's the best defensive third baseman in the league. He has been for a while, and did off him. It felt like it was one of the plays that he would make. So it was kind of cool for me for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Kyle, when you took that salami away from was it the center fielder against the A's at Art, that was on that Smoky Monday, right? That great catch you made. Mm-hmm. Before you answer that question, what was that air quality like for you? It looked bad from where I was in the booth.
Yeah, that was bizarre. It was I'd never seen anything like that. I still haven't seen anything like that, to this day, because it was just that was bizarre. That's the only word I really have for it. But
you went over now. You were playing towards right center, had to run to left center to make that catch. Walk me through that one.
Yeah, it was Laureano. So he likes inside out the ball. He had been hit. It was a doubleheader, so he was hitting the ball in the right center gap, for a while when we would play him. So I tried to shade over there, and sure enough, he gets the barrel out front and hit that one up to left center. So I knew as soon as it went up, I was gonna have a chance, and it was just about if I could get my steps right and time it, because I've been making some good jumps at the wall, throughout the year, and just being a tick off, maybe a step off, or balls that tip over the fence. So I was like kind of trying to make the adjustments and get my steps right, and it just all kind of clicked together. And just one of those, like Evan said, you just kind of black out and just something happens and you catch it. That's how I can describe it.
Hey, yeah, remember when you were at Dodger Stadium and Kyle made that sick catch? Another sick catch was against Kiki Hernandez, and I forget that. I think it was ESPN who was doing whoever's doing the telecast. They took Kiki was reacts in the dugout. That's what it was. It was the third baseman. Turner hit it. Was it Turner that hit that ball? You made the catch over in right center field, Dodger Stadium, and the reacts of Kiki Hernandez was. You probably saw that night on TV. What was your reaction when you saw Kyle make that play in right center at Dodger Stadium?
It was almost just like a lot of the plays he makes, just kind of a jaw dropping, like how in the world did he get to that? something you kind of we're fortunate enough to have him in center every day, and he makes ridiculous plays like that all the time. But every time it happens, it's still as cool as the first one. So definitely fortunate to have him out there behind us.
Both of you guys are on a lot of highlight reels, defensive highlight reels. Let's see if we get another couple of questions before we shut it down here. If you weren't, this is a good one. Ben wants to know, if you weren't playing baseball, what would you be doing?
That's a great question.
Yeah, right.
I would like to think on the PGA Tour, but I don't think my skill set really goes along with that dream. But I think I would like to be in baseball. Honestly, probably coaching at the collegiate level is something I've always kind of thought about doing, and just being around the game is something I always enjoy. So it's probably a little more realistic than the PGA Tour. What's that?
Did you play? Were you a multi-sport guy in high school?
I played basketball my freshman year, and then ended up just focusing on baseball after that. So,
were you a scorer, a rebounder, a five-foul guy?
I did not play any sort of defense. I was more. I like shooting. I don't like playing defense. Maybe try to block something once in a while, but I was not a big defender in that sport.
How about you, Kyle? If you weren't playing baseball, what would you be doing?
I'll probably travel around, mentor the youth on baseball, teaching mechanics, teaching different things like that, mindset and whatnot. So it'd probably be something around that as well. It's definitely what I enjoy, being able to spread knowledge. If I got anything to share, try to share it. So something in that realm where I'll be able to speak and just help people out.
Nice. Do you guys stay in touch? Video calls with the rest of the guys? You get together, maybe group calls, 4 or 5 guys at a time. Yo, what up? That kind of stuff. Have you done that?
More individual stuff, kind of just, shooting texts, FaceTime some guys once in a while and stuff. But, there'll be some group texts here and there, but mostly kind of just individual one-on-one communication, just checking in. So nothing too big.
Kyle, your favorite player growing up was?
Adam Jones.
Because?
He's center fielder. He wore his pants up. I liked him. He was kind of, slightly older than me, so I was able to kind of keep the, age gap closer, and he's just kind of somebody I just was drawn to, I guess. I don't really have a, reason why.
Have you had a chance to meet him? Because he's one of the good dudes.
Yeah, we exchanged texts, man. I haven't met him in person because he's playing in Japan right now, but I look forward to that.
Yeah, you'll like him. I bet you have.
Yeah, grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. So it was when Ken Griffey Jr. was over there, so grew up a big junior fan. And then, once Joey Votto came up, being the first baseman on my favorite team is, definitely enjoyed watching him and stuff. So those are probably my 2 favorites for sure.
Yeah. The fans, we want to remind you that upcoming virtual events coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Pacific time, Scott Service and Justice Sheffield. At 11 o'clock, Instagram takeover with Harold Reynolds. He and Matt Vasgersian had some great conversations with people in baseball about the passing of Henry Aaron and a whole bunch of other things. You watch him on MLB Network. At 1 p.m., Twitter takeover with Ty France. 2 p.m., virtual Clubhouse chat with Kendall Graveman. 4 o'clock, TikTok takeover with Justin Dunn. 7 p.m., Hot Stove Report with Gary Hill. And you can visit mariners.com/baseball bash for the full schedule. And right now, let's see. We got a giveaway. It's an autographed Evan White baseball. Let's see who's the winner of that. And that's going to be Keith Anderson. Good deal. How much you guys, before we wrap it up, how much you guys miss the fans in ballparks, whether it be home or away?
I miss them a ton. I miss them a ton. It's more in the clutch moments, later in the game where you may need a little push. And sometimes they get you over the hump and get that big hit or keep that rally going. So I miss them a ton, man. And I look forward to whenever we get that back.
Yeah, same here. Definitely, I think you hit it on the head. Especially for me, I haven't been able to play in front of the fans in Seattle. We had great
that's right. I keep forgetting.
and high A and stuff, but definitely looking forward to kind of interacting and being around the fans more in Seattle. But definitely missing this past year.
Kyle, have you been to every ballpark in the American League right now? I think you have, haven't you? Close to it.
I think except I haven't been to Fenway and I haven't been to Yankee Stadium.
Okay, and Ev, you still have to see the Central and the American League East.
Yeah, I haven't seen hardly anything, so looking forward to that for sure.
Wow. And your workouts, how often how long of workouts do you put in, and what's your frequency? I mean, every day, every other day? What are we talking?
Down here in Arizona right now, we go Monday through Friday. Do mobility day on Wednesday, and we run 2-3 times a week, kind of depending on how the body's recovering. But we lift Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then baseball stuff every day of the week. So it's been good for us. And me, JP, and Haggerty are the position players down here right now. So it's been fun. Got a good group of guys to get better with, and we're just enjoying the process of it.
And you're over at your high school, Kyle, and you getting after pretty good?
Yeah, I do 3 days of lifting, strength work, which would be about a 2-hour lift, and then 2 days of speed and agility work, and then 3 days of on-field work, so hitting, fielding, and long toss. So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so it's probably a total of 5 days a week where you might split them up, do 2 activities a day, 2 different activities a day.
Tom Murphy's still the strongest guy pound for pound on the team, or straight up strongest guy in the team?
Yeah, you probably got that.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear an argument from me on that one.
I'm looking forward. I'm going to talk to him later on in the week. It should be a lot of fun. Hey, fellas, enjoyed it as always. Best to you. Look forward to seeing you, hopefully sooner than later. But giving away things are going right now that can be pushed back. But hopefully we can get a good number of games in here for 2021. For Evan White and Kyle Lewis, I'm Dave Sims, Mariner broadcaster. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Don't forget, we got more Mariners Virtual Baseball Bash coming your way. Beginning.
Thank you for watching today's virtual Clubhouse chat. For more information on more great events coming up, visit mariners.com/baseballbash.